What's happening, people? We're back in Liverpool, back in Merseyside. We're back in the shitty weather of the UK. We're away from San Diego now, but we're back. We're back sponsored by Flux again, as usual. This new 3/4 sip is an absolute beast, lad. They're even doing drip now. The scousest brand you've ever heard of, Flux, are doing drip. So you can buy it and then pay for it a few weeks later. Scousest thing I've ever heard in my life, lad. I'll have a new jacket on next week as well, so you'll see some of the new gear. Fucking sick. But today, I've got me very good teammates, me good pal. I've got the Beast Map on it, aka the Meme Lord. Introduce yourself, lad. Let everyone know what's happening.
Hi, guys. I'm Matthew Bonner. I'm the Cage Warriors middleweight champion and the Meme Lord.
Yeah, lads, the Meme Lord. You don't understand some of the laughs we've had in our gym just because this fella has put his face on a picture. You don't understand how funny it is, lad. Some mornings I woke up and looked at our group chat and been like, ah! Just crying, lad. Tears rolling down my face, lad. I wish I could Photoshop, you know, because if I could, I'd do some funny ones.
I just do it on my phone. I just do it on my phone. I'm not like some kind of Photoshop expert or anything like that. It's just a little app on my phone and it's done.
You're gonna have to show me this app, you know, because I could definitely have a few people's heads up their ass with that, me, you know. People wouldn't like it, lad. I'd just be putting on mad shit, lad. Or people stand like that with a mic, but I'd swap the mic for a dick. You know what I mean? Just looks like they're talking to a big dildo. So yeah, lad, we'll come back to them later. But I was trying to say, lad, how did you get into MMA? Know what I mean? How did you first start your career? Whether it was you just started doing MMA or when you was a kid you started doing judo or Thai or anything like that?
It was Thai boxing.
Thai.
Yeah, I'm from Warrington, so kind of Warrington was lucky enough to have quite a strong Thai background for whatever reason. So I think me and our kid would just finished kind of football training. The team had disbanded. And so my mum saw this in the paper, this kind of Thai boxing advert, and that was that, really. We went there, enjoyed it, and there was never kind of any idea of being a pro fighter at that time. Yeah. There wasn't the UFC for us, didn't even exist. It was around, but it wasn't the beast it is now.
It was still like the tournament
it was
things
still,
where like people having 90-minute fights and that.
It was like Hoyle Gracie, like biting someone's neck or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Punching each other in the dick. Like that. One's got the one on the guillotine, he's just like that, punching him in the dick. Yeah. I've watched some of them videos and just thought, ooh, no wonder John McCain was like that. Fuck you, all he's getting banned. Lad, no wonder. Swear.
Yeah, and then kind of when I was 17, that's when I watched The Ultimate Fighter. And that was the first time I was introduced to it. And
what season was that? What you watched?
It was Jens Pulver and BJ Penn.
Lad,
so that was the top season as well.
I watched.
Top
that
season.
I got that on DVD. Like when I first got into MMA, I remember saying to my I've just got into this, blah, blah, and she bought me that, lad, from like HMV. You know what I mean? Like the BJ and Jens Pulver. It had like Joe Lowe's on and that, didn't it?
Yeah. Some guys who are probably still around now.
Yeah, Joe Lowe's on, and I remember like people like Matt Wyman.
Yeah.
And was that the one when it was Diaz and Manny Gambiorian?
And, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
that's
that was
when
the final.
Carol Parisian came in.
Yeah, lad, that was a sick season, that, you know.
And then we kind of found out about, I say we because I've got a twin brother who was doing it at the time as well. We found out about Michael Bisping and stuff, and that's the first gym we ended up going to was the Wolf Slayer in Widnes, Michael Bisping's gym, and kind of snowballed from there, I suppose.
Yeah, lad, no, it's sick that you say that about your brother because you're like Cage Warriors middleweight champion of the world. And what belt your kid got now?
He's got I forget, the Muay Thai Grand Prix.
Yeah, the Muay Thai Grand Prix European
title.
title. Lad, just two twinnies kicking heads in for a laugh. It's in the DNA, lad. It's in the DNA.
I think we've kind of both say we're not, and you'll know this anyway, we're not like the best kind of martial arts in terms of the skill level's not unbelievably high. We're not knockout guys, or we're not, I'm not a brilliant jiu-jitsu guys, but both very determined.
Yeah.
And, if we want something, we'll
got no quit in his.
Well, that's it, yeah.
No quit at all.
That kind of a stubbornness that
and
I think
lad, that's the thing I always say to people, you can't teach that.
Yeah.
You can teach someone how to throw a knockout punch, lad. You can teach someone how to do a choke. You can teach someone how to take someone down. You can't teach heart. You can't teach chin. Right. You can't teach determination, lad. That's simple. 20
years. I started when I was 10. It took 20 years to get anything out of the sport, and most people haven't got the kind of the belief to do that.
Yeah.
And I've had kind of an up and down career, made a lot of mistakes, but at least now I can pull something out of the sport. If I was to lose the next 10 fights, at least I've still achieved something. Yeah.
I always say this, you are one of the Cinderella men stories
that's right,
of MMA, lad.
Yeah.
It's sick.
It's nice.
What was your record?
It was when I first came to Next Gen. This was, going on nearly 3 years ago. It was 4-5-1. Four wins, five losses, one draw. So it was a nightmare. I lost my first 2 pro fights.
That you used to just take mad fights though, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like when you told me you'd fought Mads Bennell, I was like...
Matson.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
When you said you'd fought Mark Madsen in Denmark, I went,
That was
what?
a nightmare. The whole thing was a nightmare.
Then you told me that, I was like, what? How did you even do that?
You look back on that, and that's why we need managers and stuff like that. We're lucky enough to have Graham, but I had no managers. I had people say, "Do you want to take this fight?" And it was, "Yeah, okay." Do you want to go Denmark and weigh in on, arrive on the Thursday and win on the Friday? You're like, "Yeah, that sounds like a good idea." I've only got 10 kilo of water to cut. Do you know what I mean? It's just stupid, but you learn from those mistakes. And obviously, I've moved to next gen now, and it's a very professional atmosphere.
Yeah,
and,
you're right there, lad.
like
Without people giving us advice, we're fighters, lad. Like,
we're not generally the sharpest tools in the box
exactly,
either, are we?
lad.
So,
Like,
yeah.
it was like when I weighed in against Giannetti, Rim and Graham both said to me, "You're not doing this fight," and I was like, "No, I want to do this fight. I want to fight him. Know what I mean? I need to fight. I haven't fought in ages." I was like, "I haven't fought in like over a year. I want to fucking fight."
You want to fight,
then both of them just went, "No, there's no point." And that's where you do need people in your ear to say like, "No, this is a bad idea, lad, or it's a good idea."
People want the best for you as well. They're
Yeah.
not doing it for any other reason why. They just don't want you to go out there and get your face smashed in. Do you know what I mean? They can see the state that you're in as well, where you can't, especially when you're dehydrated. You've cut all this water and stuff. You can't see what kind of state you're in. It's the other people on the outside who can.
Lad, some of the weight cuts I've done, lad. You must have done some heavy ones for 77, no?
I was a big welter.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking about dropping down to welter after this fight, but it will be a lot more controlled and a little bit more professionally done again. We're next gen now. We've got access to Paul Reed, who is mine and Paddy's S&C coach,
the
and
main
nutritionist
man,
and whatnot.
the absolute main man.
He's made a big difference in my career. So hopefully I can get down to welterweight and make some moves
I always
there.
think about it, lad. I always think about, because my last few fights where I haven't really struggled to make lightweight, so I'm thinking, could
you get down?
to FedEx? But lad, I reckon I could only get to about 150 without like proper struggling.
That's what my worry is, that I fight 84 now, welterweight 77, that I'll get down to 80 and then my body will just say, nah, that's it. You're stopping there now. Yeah, and then you start saunas and salt baths and all that bullshit, and you think, oh, we'll see. Paul's going to send me for like DEXA scans and stuff.
That's the best thing to do. Yeah, I think I need to go and get one as well, to be honest, because then you know if it's actually possible.
Yeah, that's right.
You know if it's even possible for your body to get to that weight.
They only say like bone mass scans and how much fluid do you hold, how much muscle have you got, and they can say, like you say,
I wouldn't want to get one of them DEXA scans now, me though. Lad. I've lost a bit of weight coming back from Cali, lad, but at the same time, lad, it's just fucking, I don't understand how people just stay in shape 24/7, lad.
I'm lucky that I'm tall, and it's just kind of the weight distribution follows me all the way up.
The metabolism helps.
Yeah. I'd be a mess.
Lad, up until I was about 16, when I first started fighting, I could eat what I wanted, when I wanted. Literally, lad, kebab for dinner, Nando's for tea with 7 sides, and lad, I'd still wake up the next day the same weight. Now, lad, I can wake up on a Friday at like 75 and then weigh myself on a Monday and be 81. Know what I mean?
I've not obviously been training now because we're getting ready for the fight. We don't want any injuries. It's all about getting the water off. And I've been having like 6 hours of sleep a night, and I'm still feeling really fresh. I didn't realise how much kind of training takes out of you, but I'm 31 in December. I'm getting there where my nutrition and sleep and everything has to be on point. Otherwise, I'm going to just get smashed up and just feel rough in the morning as well. But
there's that sleep, lad. You don't realise how much sleep.
Well, we have the whoops, don't we?
Yeah.
So I can see how much sleep you're getting, and you can see.
If you noticed,
mine
lad,
snapped.
I used to. Has it?
Yeah, mine snapped about. I was rolling with Joel. Got me in a guillotine. Squeezed this guillotine on.
What bit snapped then?
It's the plastic on the set. You see what's connected to the strap.
Should email them,
I've done it.
Did email them?
We're going to send you the upgrade.
The 4.
But,
that's
mate,
what I need to do, because it does something with your skin temperature and your blood.
2 months ago.
Yeah,
and they still
email
not
them
sent
back.
it.
Whoop. What the fuck's going on? Fucking taking the piss out of the lads. Get your best email them back, or there'll be beef. I need to get one of them new ones though, because it says something about your skin temperature and your blood
pressure.
oxygen. Yeah, something
blood
like
oxygen,
that.
Something,
blood oxygen, something like that. But we're no scientists, lad. We just stick all that on Paul Reed. any info I need, I was like, hey, Paul, what do we do here, lad?
I asked him, what water should I be doing? And he's like, you probably should know this by now, Matt. I'm like, just remind me.
And I got told about one about alkaline water when I was away. Something like, I know I'm going to explain this wrong, so Gordon from Urban Water, I'm sorry, lad, if this comes across wrong from what you explained it to us. It's like, say in a bottle of water, there's like 6 like little circles. So when you drink it, only 2 of the 6 circles will go into your body, the molecules. When you drink alkaline water, because they're closer together, 4 get in your body, but your body only think it's 2, so you don't piss out as much.
Right, okay.
I actually sound like a scientist. What? boom, lad. I felt fucking sick saying that. Then talking about all molecules and fucking
Sciencey stuff.
Lad, I'm stupid, lad. I'm smart when it comes to stuff like films and fighting. That's about it, lad.
That's it.
When it comes to the shit,
the things that you should be an expert on, you're not.
Things that I should know more about, I don't really know about. Like when you look at me and you see how fat I am, you think I should be an expert on food, but I'm not.
You find that about like not nutritionalists or even like gym PTs. They're like 10 stone overweight. You think, fucking hell, mate, I'm not hiring you as a gym PT.
Lad, I've spoken to a few people who said that, have you seen that PT in that gym around there? I'm like, nah, what do you mean? He's like, lad, have you seen the size of him? Like, oh no, is he big? And like, no, lad, he's like that. What are you on about? And they're like, he's got a big belly on him. I don't understand that. Lad, if you're a PT, you've got to...
That's the one thing.
You have to...
That's your advertisement, isn't it? You're in sick shape.
It's like an ass model, having a shit ass.
That's right.
Like, what? It makes no sense. I don't get it. I just don't. But, lad, what I did want to mention is your wedding. You got married.
Right, yeah,
you got married not that long ago, didn't you?
That was October. It
was
a nice day. Yeah,
you need to tell everyone about your kid. Lad, this is one of the best and funniest stories ever, lad. It's fucking brilliant.
So it was in terms of him disappearing. Yeah. So it was unfortunate.
And the cutout.
Yeah. So it just happened. I think my wedding day was, I can't even remember the date, but my brother ended up having a fight on the same day in London, and it was for a European title.
Yeah. For the title we've just been talking about, his brother got offered the fight. Same day, short notice. The Bonners are fighters, man. He took the fight, of course.
It was like me getting offered a UFC first fight or something, and Dan having a wedding on the same day, so there was never any idea that, oh no, you can turn the fight down, I want you at the wedding and stuff. I understood, and he was gutted and stuff, but so he went away and thankfully won. Because I said to the missus, like, no, if he loses, it won't ruin the day, but it would have ruined the day if he'd have lost that fight. So he won, but yeah, the best man. Dan was actually supposed to be the best man, so I had like a substitute best man who stepped in, and he brought out this fucking cardboard cutout of Dan, and he placed it in the room, and you just you found yourself like this cutout saying, you just found yourself like looking at this cutout, you see these eyes.
Staring at you.
I end up bringing this cutout home, and I've got my own gym about 30 seconds away from my house that me and my brother kind of run. And I thought, it'd be dead funny if I put this cutout right in front of the door. So when he walks in, this fucking cutout's going to be scared. Well, I forget something from the gym, and I forget that I put the cutout there. So I go back and open the door and scare myself. And I thought, fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? So it was kind of a little bit of karma there.
That cutout though, lad. Yeah. So when I seen you just putting pictures up of your wedding, and the cutout was on the side, lad, I was sitting in my house like that. He is the funniest man ever. Just crying my eyes out.
It was. I say, wedding was lovely. To be fair, I'm horrible around people, mate. If I have anyone who comes to my house and they're there for more than 2 hours, I'm like thinking, you should be going home back now, really. I want me tea. I want to get on with me day.
Lad, I'm the opposite to that. I'll invite my mates down, lad, and my birds sitting there looking at me going,
get them out.
Like as if to say, what are they still doing here? And I'm like, mi casa, su casa.
Obviously, the wedding, you spending the same you're with the same people from morning to 12 o'clock at night. But it was nice. I enjoyed it, and she loved it. So that was the main thing.
Well, with ours, yours is only a small little
wedding. It was, that was right.
It's half my fault, but ours isn't gonna be small. You know what I mean?
Big massive castle.
She's booked it in this castle. Yeah, she went and seen this castle, this Peckforton Castle, booked it in that, and then obviously, lad, she's like, we've got so many guests. I looked at the list, lad, and I think like 30 of the guests there is, and like 70 of the guests are mad.
Yours.
And then like she's like, I've got to cut the guests down. Like, I'm in the gym with him all day, every day. He's been my mate since I was 12. And I'm looking through them all going, I can't not invite him, I can't not invite that, I can't not invite
tough,
that. Lad, she's going, it's going to fucking cost a fortune. I'm going, I'm fucking paying for it though, aren't I? So it's all right. It's all right.
I was lucky, mate, that it was like...
look at you getting it up on the screen, lad. Yeah, that's it. Jeez. Looks like Hogwarts, doesn't it?
What's the Downton Abbey? Looks like Downton Abbey, doesn't it?
I'm no fucking conservative, lad. Fuck them Tories. But it looked like a fucking Tory getting married in there. Swear, lad. The day we went and viewed it, there was a wedding in there, and Laura was just like so happy, just like watching it. So she's going to stay there with her mum for her mum's birthday, so we'll know even more about it in January, lad. We're getting told all sorts about it when that comes round. Fucking hell.
Heavy.
It's not even all included in the price either. They give you the set price, and then it's like oh no, for your decorations on your table, this is more. Oh no, for your curtains, this is
we had
more.
all that.
And you're just like,
I was lucky. I had the missus fucking sort all that out. I'm terrible for buying Christmas presents and stuff. Never mind for organising table decorations and making sure that.
I'd rather put money in people's cards. Doesn't it make life 10 times easier?
And they probably prefer it as well. There's some shit you'll go and buy. My dad, and he'll be watching this as well. He goes to like Manchester Christmas Market.
Yeah.
And he's like, don't worry, I've sorted out your present.
My mad was that for me.
What shit is he going to bring back? Do you know what I mean? That's what you think.
My mad was that for me, for my nieces and nephews. My mad would buy me something and go, you owe me 30 quid or you owe me 20 quid. And I'm like, yes, man, you're legend. Lad, when I was here, I'm knackered. I'm just doing everyone's card. Like last year was the worst, lad. Last year, me and my bird said, yeah, we won't get no Christmas presents. We've just moved into the house. Because we were in the house like 2 weeks before Christmas. And then, lad, it was Christmas Eve. And I said to Chris Williams, I went to Chris, hey, I haven't got my beard not. And he went, what? I was like, I need to go and get us something. He was like, yeah. Like, we need to go now. And he come and pick me up, lad. It was like 7 o'clock on Christmas Eve. We went to Asda. I hope she's not watching this. We went to Asda by ours, lad. And I got her a pair of slippers, 2 pairs of pyjamas, a candle, something else. Oh, yeah, I got her bath bombs. And then I took them home and went, yeah, there's some bath bombs. She went, I can't use them. I went, what do you mean? She went to give me a reaction. I was like, lad, they were the most expensive thing. Spent like 19 quid on bath bombs and she can't use them.
My missus loves like buying presents as well. She enjoys buying presents for people.
Lad, it's a woman thing. My bird does. My mum does. No, I was going to say my sister does. My sister doesn't. My sister's like me. She's a lazy bastard.
But she's like, I've had that thing on Christmas Day where I get out her 3 Christmas presents and then she gets out the 30 Christmas presents from the cupboard, and you think that's expensive, that one. Do you know what I mean? It's like
where you feel a cunt, like
feel like a right soft gun. You know, don't worry, the real present's coming in a week's time.
Does your bird love putting the tree up?
Oh, she loves it. Lad. We can't because of the cat now, but she loves decorations and stuff. Yeah, the cat sees anything in the house. You can put a picture up, and he's like, "What's that?" It'll just kind of fuck with it for the next week and a half or something. Jumping on it and stuff.
When we come in here today in the podcast studio, I had a little tree and it was like that.
It's real.
It's real. Yeah, it's a real tree. It's not a fake tree. It's a real tree, lads. Hey, real. I've never had a real tree, but my missus loves Christmas trees, lad. Like last week, I think it was one day, my missus put the tree up in our house, and then Friday, and then on Saturday, I took the dog to my mates and she went to her mum's and put 2 Christmas tree ups in her mum's front and back room. Lad, nuts.
See, for us, that would be like a waste of an afternoon. But for them, they love it, don't they? I don't know why.
For us, we'd be like, we've got to go and do something. You know what I mean? They're like, no, this is great. Like, Lenny was barking at the Christmas tree though when she pulled it out. So she thought, shit, he's going to fucking pull this down. And literally, lad, since it's been put up,
he's been all right.
He's not asked. He's just chilling.
Nice.
He's happy as Larry, lad. Happy as Larry. But, get back off the Christmas shit. We sound like absolute mushrooms. Meant to be fighters. But tell everyone how you won the World Cage Warriors middleweight title, lad. Because some names have held that belt in the past.
It's any kind Cage Warriors world title for me, and obviously for you as well. That's been one of the main steps to get to the UFC.
That's for me, lad. It's the main step before the UFC. It is. Winning that belt, defending it.
Biggest organisation in Europe and whatnot.
By a
obviously
mile.
Graham runs a tight show. It's a really well run show. But I was fighting a guy called Natis Frederick for the belt, and he was this big feared middleweight, wasn't he?
That man can throw digs.
Yeah.
Lad, he's got like weird power, I think. Like it's half scary power.
It's like stiff power, innit? Because normally when people throw power, especially like lighter weights, it's a snap.
Yeah.
Like, if you can Connor, it's a snap, but with him, it's brutal force, and it's pure lad. Just. You get
everything he throws is with bad intentions, lad.
This is the fight.
Like, I'll be honest, lad. There was one of them rounds. I don't know if it was I think to be the round you'd end up finishing him,
possibly at the fourth.
Lad,
and he's slapping down.
I'm going.
Yeah,
in arms going like that.
Yeah,
lad, I was like that. Knowing like you see someone out of the gym getting choked, and you go. I was doing the same. Lad, it was horrible, but then it was sick to watch at the same time.
It's just kind of, if you watch the fight, it's on the UFC Fight Pass. It's a messy fight. It wasn't a clean fight, but like we say, you look across the Natius, and like for me, for instance, my mission is to win the fight.
Yeah, no matter what.
No matter what.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what style it's in or anything like that.
His mission,
it's to win.
It's to do you damage.
Yeah.
He wants
his mission to knock your egg
smash
clean
your
off.
face in. He did a Sky Sports interview before the fight. I was watching it. It was like right after his weigh-in. And he started crying, and he was saying, they mentioned his mum, and he started crying, and he said, she's been a massive supporter and whatnot, and it was quite sweet listening to it. You're quite endearing. You think, do you know what? Maybe he's a nice guy. And then literally like a sentence afterwards, I'm going to knock Matt Bonner out. I'm going to smash his face in. And I was like, I nearly fell for that.
And he's nearly thought, shit, how hard I feel for him. And then it was, I'm going to fucking knock your teeth out.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So the fight went into the 4th round. Title fights 5 rounds, normal fights 3 5s. And then
you'd at least won 2 of them 3 rounds, though. I think he'd won all 3. And he had a point deducted, so he had to get the
illegal knee, didn't he?
He had to get the finish, didn't he? He knew he had to get the finish.
But to be fair, I don't know how I would have been in that 5th round. I was knackered. I'd wasted so much energy going for, double legs and whatnot.
Shooting the takedowns
just
constantly.
Wasting, it was silly. Obviously, you look back on that and say it was a mistake. But at the end of the 4th, he was kind of sprawled on top, and I've moved around, and he's fell forward. I've gone round to the
shuffled
back.
round him, and just got round to his back.
Move round to the back, ended up locking in the choke. And generally for a choke, you put your hooks in first, you put your feet in.
Yeah.
You know this better than anyone. You put your feet in, you secure the hips. I couldn't get the feet in, so I've gone straight for the choke. Fell back and managed to get the hooks in, and thankfully got the tap. Yeah, but it was a tough fight, to be fair. But I made it tough.
Lad, he's a tough fight for anyone in that division, Matt. A tough fight for anyone.
You could go in there with all the best intentions, and it would still be a messy, gritty,
horrible
fight.
Look at him versus both fights against James Webb. Both fights against James Webb, lad, they're scraps.
And to be fair, you were saying you're flinching away and stuff when you're watching it. I was feeling the power through my forearms. Keep knocking the mic. I was feeling the power through my forearms, and I was thinking, this is heavy. I've never felt this power before. But that I was lucky enough. I was a little bit stubborn.
I can know what I can imagine, lad. That it is punches on your forearms to be like when someone throws a kick.
Yeah, exactly.
Lad,
when you can break your arm from the power.
I can imagine Matthias' power to be like someone throwing an egg kick, and where you block it and you go,
you can still feel it.
You feel the flood across your arms. Lad, I can imagine to have power like that. Lad.
Weird power. I don't know what he's doing now. He's 30. He's moving on to like 39-year-old now, Frederick. Yeah, so I don't know whether he's thinking about retiring or if he's moved on from Cage Warriors. No idea. But I would have rematched him.
I thought he was fighting again.
No, I don't think so. It's not come up.
For a lad, as you say, it'd be nice for him to go on like a 3-fight win so he can get signed because of his age, wouldn't it?
It'd be nice for him to go away, I think, and make some money somewhere.
Yeah.
Go. I think he got an offer for Poland or something to go and fight over there. Maybe, yeah. And I think, do you know what? You're 38, 39. Go and have a few fights, make a few grand, and then retire or whatever. He's still accomplished a lot. I think he started his first pro fight. He was like 31.
Yeah, he wasn't. Didn't he lose his first fight as well? I think he lost his first fight and then went on like a 12.
Lost his first 2 as well.
And then went on like a 12-fight win streak, something like that.
Well, good luck to him. I don't hold any kind of resentment. I don't think he composed himself properly after the fight or before the fight, but it is what it is, and he can go off and do whatever he wants to do.
Well, we come to a conclusion a few weeks ago, didn't we? That with you, it's bald power. Like when Matt first started his career and he had hair, lad. As he said, he was 4, 5 and 1, lad. Now, lad, since he shaved the head, it's 11 and 6 now.
10, 6 and 1.
10, 6 and 1.
It's getting better.
He's the opposite to Samson. Shaves his hair off and gets power.
When I first came to Next, and I was still kind of holding on to this, and it looked was dreadful.
It receding?
My brother had already braved the shave.
See, that's what I mean. I can remember Dan had already shaved his head before you.
And he always says, so you say you've got a lollipop and you drop a lollipop on the floor and you pick it back up and it's covered in like carpet and fur and something. He said, that's your head. He said, that's what your head looks like.
Funny the way you said that, because whenever I say, I need a shave, my dad goes to me, come get a lollipop stick, lad. That's what he says to me, come get a lollipop stick, do it off. Or like, if we're in the car, he'll go, stick your chin out the window, lad, that'll blow off. I'm like, fuck off.
It just, it coincided. Braving the shave coincided with going on this nice
It just happened at the same time, lad, didn't it? The year got shaved, man came out with a vengeance.
It wasn't like the S&C programme from Paul Reed or the Change of Mentality.
It was we love Paul Reed and we love Rim and we love Ellen and Adam, but it was the hair. He shaved the hair and that was it. The power came. It was just one of them things, wasn't it?
It's funny because I used to shave my head a few years ago. I don't know why I kind of carried on growing it, but me and Dan used to work in before we was able to do this professionally in warehouses and factories and stuff.
Yeah.
And you used to have English people who used to come up to us all the time. And
thinking you were Polish or something. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
And they'd speak to him in broken English.
Hello, my friend. Are you okay?
You say, mate, I'm not Polish. And they go, yeah, you are. It's like,
And you go, lad, I'm from Warrington, lad. What are you
I'm from Warrington, I'm not Polish. And then they go and do the same to Dan, because we always kind of happen to work in the same place at the same time. Nothing wrong with Eastern Europeans or anything like that.
No, just as you say, the way they come over and think, they just think straight away you are Eastern European.
Yes, you are. And I'm like, mate, I'm not. Do you know what I mean? I'm from Warrington.
It's funny you say that, because, lad, the amount of times people said different places for me when I was abroad, when I was in America. I got Scottish multiple times.
Scottish.
I got Irish multiple. A fella in 540 asked me, did I like rugby? And I went, nah, why? And he went, Ireland had a good game versus Japan last night. I went, lad, I'm not Irish, you know. People were asking me if I was Australian. People asking me if I was Scandinavian. Lad, someone asked me at one point, what language are you speaking? I went, what? He went, what language are you talking? I went, English. It's like, are you messing? It's like, I'm talking blatant English. Like,
I actually think yours isn't like a massively thick Scouse accent.
No, it's
because
not.
some people you do struggle, don't you? Kind of say, yeah, sound. You think,
like, no, when I think of like UFC fighters, no, like the proper strong thick accent. Terry Etten.
Yeah.
Terry's proper thick, strong Scouse accent, lad.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people couldn't understand him. But like, I don't think mine's as thick as his.
I don't
know
think
what I mean?
No, I don't think it is.
As I say, lad, people were just asking me if from one lad. We got a taxi from the airport one day, and we got back to Graham's. And lad, this taxi driver said to me as I was getting out, like, oh, where are you from? I think he said what language he is speaking. He might have, I can't remember. And then I went, oh, where are you from, mate? And he went, southern Russia. I went, oh yeah, blah, blah, whereabouts? And know what he said to me? He went, you know the country Georgia? Just by there.
Just by Georgia.
I was just like, yeah, they all hate me there, lad. Everyone in Georgia hates me. Don't worry. Just like, he doesn't want to know.
Italians as well.
I know. Yeah. In fact, the Italians don't mind me now, because I supported Italy for the
World Cup.
What's it called?
The Euro.
The Euros, yeah. I supported Italy in the Euro final, so a lot of Italians don't mind me now, lad.
To you. Yeah.
And that lad, that was what he said. Was sitting next to, what's his name? He beat
Vittori.
We were sitting next to Vittori at the UFC.
He comes off as quite a nice
lad,
fella, to be
he's
fair.
a very nice fella, you know, lad. Very nice fella.
He's massive as well for a size, isn't he?
Yeah, he is big. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say he's definitely not taller than you. He's wide.
Like 6 foot, something like that.
He's wide, but he's not taller than you.
You see kind of Costa and Vittori, and you think they're proper
big middleweights. Them. I don't think Costa's going to be allowed to fight at middle again, no, is he?
That's what they've said, isn't it? Like, he should go up to light heavy, which I think might be a bit of a fresh start for him.
I always say, look at people like Anthony Smith and Thiago Santos, lad.
Rob Whittaker.
Exactly.
Another one, yeah.
It's
tough, isn't it? This weight cutting thing.
Burns.
We've talked about kind of dropping weight and stuff, but it depends, doesn't it?
It depends
how
what
much
your body feels like, lad, how much it takes out of you. Because, lad, when I've done featherweight in the past, albeit I wasn't doing it professionally, because I didn't act like the way I act now. Like, people laugh at me out of camp. Yeah, I am a fat cunt out of camp. I like me food. Eat shit. Know what I mean? Yeah. When it comes to fight camp, I get in shape. I get in the best fucking physical specimen shape of my life. And, like, nothing's going to stop that. Like, it really isn't. Just because I'm a fat cunt out of camp, but people are like, oh, he's fat out of camp.
I always find it so hard to kind of, not be healthy, but to be, you need that goal of, I've got a UFC fight in
exactly.
2-3 months' time.
Like,
and that's a switch there.
Like, I always say it to Paul Reed, lad, because as you know, Paul's always on us, like, what are you weighing, what are you weighing? And, lad, Paul Reed looks at me from, like, when I'll do my 8-week camp, and then I weigh in, and I'm on point. I fight. I'm on point. Literally, lad. 4 days later, I look like I did 8 weeks before the fight.
Yeah.
Paul's always on me like that, and I'm like, I don't even mean it, lad. I don't mean it.
Pulls it all
My body
now,
craves everything.
Yeah.
Like, lad, after I beat Martinez the day after you beat him, remember when we got back to the room and I was just standing there eating donuts? Lad, we had a full box of Krispy Kremes. Lad, I think I ate 5 just standing there because I was starving and, like, we never ordered nothing yet, and I ate 5 donuts just standing there. And everyone's looking at me like, fucking hell, lad. I'm like, lad, I'm starving. Like, people don't understand, lad, my appetite's like.
I'm the opposite after a fight in terms of, like, initially straight after, because Rimmer's always like, let's get KFC and McDonald's, whatever we're getting. And I'm like, I don't fancy fucking anything. And then the next day, it switches on, like you've been talking about, and you think, lad, I'm going to eat shit for breakfast, second breakfast, lunch and tea.
Lad,
do you know what I mean?
I'm bad, lad, as soon as I fight, though. Like, even in America, because it was a daytime fight, it was even worse. We were back at the hotel by 2:30, and I was just like,
Scrolling.
What are we eating? Know what I mean? As soon as you got like, what are we eating or what aren't we eating? Know what I mean? I was just like, get the food in. Because it was like a religious, strict, like 8, 9, 10 week diet.
the stricter it's going to be, the more you're going to want to implode
Exactly.
afterwards as well.
But dieting for me is the hardest part of the sport.
Yeah,
I don't care what anyone says.
This is why, bodybuilders, in terms of like, they get up on stage, got these little fucking silly thongs on, you think that's weird.
Yeah.
But in terms of what they do leading up to that,
Yeah, it's perfect preparation.
unbelievable,
Yeah,
in
it is
terms of the
perfect
dedication.
preparation.
Because it's not like us in some respects where we can train in the mornings or evenings or whatever. Then when we get home, that's where we have our little break.
Yeah.
But they get home and then the diet, that's the real training for them. They can't eat anything.
You know what I'm going to say? Whenever I think of that, all I think of fish and a rice cake.
Yeah, for sure.
Fish and then a rice cake. And then fish and a rice cake.
But it's not even, that's a funny video, but it's true as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it's true.
All I've been eating
It's
for the
funny
last
as
3-4
fuck.
days is chicken breast and fucking Greek yogurt or something like that. That's all it's been.
What I was just about to say, what have you been on this week?
So yeah, chicken
Just on
breast, Greek yogurt.
You won't have much to do though, will you?
I'm 87ish this morning, so I've got...
What's your opponent, lad? I'll be honest, I haven't even watched this next opponent, lad. I don't even know what he's like, lad.
It's a strange one because, say, I have sent the video off to a few different people who have asked for the fight, and all of them have kind of messaged me back and say, listen, sorry lad, we couldn't finish it. It's that boring. He just doesn't do anything. He's very passive. You take one step forward, he's taking 3 steps back. Very patient, but he's like a typical southpaw in terms of he'll wait for you.
Yeah, he tries to counter,
and then he'll counter. Yeah, he'll counter like a backhand or a double leg or something like that. So I think he'll come in. I reckon it'll be tricky because he's that passive style. He's waiting for me to pressure him.
Yeah, that, as you say, that's 9 out of 10 southpaws are counter punches, aren't they?
But I would say even like Liam Malloy in the gym, he's almost like he's still got other attributes in terms of he can be aggressive with it. He'll push forward. He'll force you to throw his shot, and then he'll be aggressive with his counter.
Yeah, Liam walks forward with his counters as well, doesn't he? That's the difference.
He's like an aggressive southpaw, where this guy is very, very passive, and he's not really a devastating punch or anything like that. I don't think he's going to knock me out, but he can just kind of he'll double leg you in the last 30 seconds and just nick the round.
Yeah,
you've got to be careful. It's a bit of a banana peel fight, this one, where I can't go in there and be thinking about what am I going to do after this fight because I've got all these opportunities. I've got to be composed.
Yeah, you've got to be bang on. You know what's going on. It's a world title fight. People come into these title fights, lad, fucking
ready because they know, like we've just said, you win the Cage Warriors belt. He's undefeated. He'll be 8-0 if he beat me. That's UFC territory then. So he's going to come in.
Especially if he does win and I get to the fence, he's probably getting signed. Especially because he's French, isn't he?
He's French. Well, I think he's originally from the Ivory Coast, but he's lived in France for God knows how long.
French MMA is getting bigger and bigger, and
it's just starting to explode,
UFC want to sign as many French MMA fighters as they can.
Right.
That's what he's thinking, and he's thinking, go in here, beat him, beat someone else, get signed, but he's not getting anywhere fucking near past you, lad.
I mean, Cage Warriors, I think ideally for them, they'd have a French champion, an English champion, a champion from America.
Yeah,
they would like to have like a broad, shower of champions, so they can build up like a crowd in those countries. But like you say, he's not getting past me.
I know. I think they are gonna do that with France, to be honest, Cage Warriors, because if Ben Lachtar wins against Hardwick, obviously I hope George wins, lad. George cool as fuck. I hope Hardwick wins that fight, lad. But if Ben Lachtar wins, they probably will go to France. They'll have Morgan Charrier on there. They'll have him.
It's close as well, isn't it? I mean,
it's not far at all.
From London to France, it can't be more than kind of 3-4 hours.
What's the Eurostar?
Yeah,
like the Eurostar's literally 3 hours, isn't it? Something like that.
It's easy to get there. I assume that's how they're going to get over here.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see.
Or if the flight's only an hour anyway, isn't it, from France, something like that. They've got it nice.
It's probably as easy as getting over to Ireland.
Yeah. That's the maddest flight ever. If you've ever flew to Ireland, lad, when Fran and Nathan fought when they were amateur years ago there, we went over, and lad, it's literally you go up, you go down. It's the weirdest flight ever, lad. Proper strange, weirdest flight ever. It was like, we don't sound this, and then literally we're starting our descent now. You're like, what? Like literally, as soon as they've stood up to say, oh, put your seatbelt, this and that, when they sit down, they stand back up again. And then literally they're doing the sitting down again, lad. It's mad. They don't come round with a drink or nothing.
That's what I was going to say. I'm gutted because you want like a little snack or something in between, don't you? Even if it's airplane food, it's still nice to have a snack in
some of that fucking airplane food. Oh my God, lad. You wouldn't think you're paying £1,500 for your flight there and back, lad. Lad, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, lad. Like the little scrans aren't that bad, but then, lad, they give you a butty like at the end, like an hour before it finishes, and lad, the butty going there was half a butty.
So it was one triangle?
It was one square. Where they'd done a full butty, cut it in half, and then 2 people get half each. I was looking at it like, are these for real? Like, it's a British Airways flight. We've paid like £1,500 return, and you're giving us half a chicken mayo butty. Like, it was worse than what you get out of the Pound Bakery, lad. Know what I mean? It was worse than one of them. And then on the way home, it was something even worse. It was like on a little square thing, and it tasted like cardboard. The little panini thing tasted like cardboard. It was fucking disgusting. I was fuming.
And you think that probably cost them about 30p a meal.
Literally,
as well.
30p.
You paid you 1,500 quid as well.
Yeah, like that.
For the 30p meal.
I
bet you ate it though, didn't you?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I don't let nothing go to waste. You know me, mad lads. Nothing goes to waste.
This is disgusting, but I'm going to finish
it. But I'm going to eat it anyway. Fuck you all. But it makes you realise on them fucking that, like, I go to Tenerife with the missus. I'm glad you don't even get given a fucking water on them. Like, literally, if you're on that flight and you didn't bring a drink on with you, you're not getting given a drink. You're not getting given nothing.
Well, if you go Ibiza, it's like £10 for a bottle of water or something, isn't it? It's like, who the fuck's
like Ibiza's the same. It's like a 4.5 hour flight. Like Tenerife's like a 4 and a bit hour flight. Lad, the flight from New York to San Diego, or San Diego to New York. Yeah, New York, San Diego is like 4.5, 5 hours. They're still walking up and down, giving you drinks, any drink you want, and like little packs of crisp and that. EasyJet, you can fuck off. Fucking arseholes. Fucking robbers constantly, you pricks. They do, lad. And you don't get no leg room, you don't get nothing. Fuck off, EasyJet, you little wankers. But
Ryanair's worse.
Ryanair's worse, yeah, you're right. Ryanair's even worse. But at the same time, EasyJet's not far off it. Like, it goes, you're right there, it goes Ryanair, then EasyJet. And then don't even know what you go after that, because the rest of them, you're all fucking shit. You should be getting first class for the price of fucking normal. I know when you walk past on the plane, you see people in first class, you're like that.
They're having their lasagna or something
Lads,
like that.
as you're first getting on, you've got like a fucking, they're getting a 3-course meal, you've got the blanket on them in the proper seat, and you're walking past them, like, I feel like going to them, and if you don't swap seats with me, I'm going to smash your head in right now. I feel like saying something like that to someone. It's heavy, lad. That first class, when you walk through it, it's fucking sick.
Have you ever done first class before?
Never.
No, I've not.
Never. No. I haven't, and I don't want to do it, because I know once you do it once, you want to do it forever. Like, it's funny, you know, there's like, there's 2 on that side and then 1 on that side, so there's like, so everyone's got more leg room.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if there's 2 seats there, the 1 leg goes in between.
Stretch out.
Yeah, and if there's 1 seat there, the 2, I'm like, you fucking little rats. I can't sleep on planes no more, lad. I used to be able to sleep anywhere. When I say anywhere,
You can't do it anymore.
like ask Rimmer or El, lad. Like, even the last Cage Warriors, we were sitting there, and like, I'm just lying there like that, talking to Adam, then like, Adam tries to say the conversation didn't finish when the conversation finished, and I've just went, yeah, man,
snooze.
and then I started snoring, and Adam like kicked me and went, lad, just been talking to you. I went, what do you mean, lad? The conversation finished. And he went to Ellis, lad, haven't I just been talking to him? Adam started fuming.
That's like my brother. He can just, it doesn't matter if he'll come to my house to pick something up and then he's asleep on the sofa. And you think you'd literally come in to get this, I don't know, a snack or something, and he's on.
That's where, I'll be honest, that's where I am most likely to fall asleep, the couch. I'm bad. I done it last night. I checked me whoop and I was asleep for an hour and 10 minutes. Literally put Donny Brasco on first half an hour and then fell asleep, and my missus was already there, a kid. Knows the jet lag. We're falling asleep like on the couch.
Of course, because she went with you, didn't she, as well? So she'll be struggling with jet lag as well.
Last night fell asleep on the couch for like an hour. Woke up at like 10:10. Oh yeah, we'll go straight to bed now. I didn't get to sleep till half 2. Fucking joke, lad. Lying in bed, I didn't even turn the telly on last night, just lying in bed, tossing and turning, thinking, come on.
I had wasn't last week, it was the week before. I wasn't very well. I spent about 4 or 5 days off the gym. On Sunday night I had like fever dreams. So I'd wake up.
They are heavy.
I just couldn't put the pieces together where I was, and I kept calling the missus different names and stuff as well, which never goes down well. She was like, sorry, what was that you just said? And I said, oh, sorry, I don't know. I didn't know what planet it was on. Never mind who was lying next to me. Do you know what I mean?
Them dreams are like being on like LSD or something. Yeah. Like what goes through your head.
Honestly, I woke up at one point, I was like, I'm in the Matrix. And I was like, it's all a simulation. Do you know what I mean? And then you wake up the next morning, you think, I was in a proper bad state last night.
I've heard about Bonner though, you know. Bonner loves shouting in his sleep.
I forgot about it.
Yeah, you've just reminded me of it right then. Rim shared the room with Bonner before, and you heard Bonner talking in his sleep.
I remember me and Dan, when we was working away, me and Dan would join us, so we used to work away occasionally, and we used to share B&Bs. The company would put us in a twin room, and I woke up. And I was screaming at us. I was like, Dan, someone's in the room. I'm fighting him. And Dan was like, Matt, I'm fighting someone as well. And we're literally fighting each other in the same room.
In your sleep.
Both of us were like half asleep, scrapping with each other, and then we both like stopped, just looked at each other, and then just like turned and fell back asleep again. Like,
looked at each other as if to say, not again.
Yeah, we won't speak about this again.
Don't ever tell anybody about this.
But it's always like fighting though. I'm always like standing up saying, "Come on, then let's have it." And
I know
like
what I hate about dreams, lad. When I have a dream, lad, I know when you're fighting in your dream and you're trying to throw a punch, and in your dream your punch is like
slow.
You're on it.
Yeah.
That's the most annoying thing ever. You're trying to fight in your dream and you're punching like. Lad, that's so frustrating. When I wake up in the morning, I go, lad, you're a mushroom. Why aren't you throwing proper digs in your sleep?
I think that boils down to that's being like our worst nightmare.
Yeah,
fight,
literally
it?
it is, lad. That's like our worst
shot.
nightmare. Someone like attacking us and us trying to fight.
Not being able to defend
and we
ourselves.
can't defend. We're just like, what the fuck? And you're getting sparked in your dream like that. What the fuck's going on here? What's going on here? But as we said before, the big fella is the meme lord. So it was the Inman fight where he became the meme lord when he fought someone from a rival gym, and you just started taking the piss with your memes, didn't you?
Well, the story behind it was I fought a guy called George Smith. He was,
He
was the big lad at SBG Manchester, and then I beat George. That was kind of the start of this kind of winning streak that I've had. And then straight after that, we was thinking about who we're going to be fighting next. And I remember Rimmer sending me the text. He normally rings me, but he sent me a text. And I was working in my gym. It came up saying Matt Inman wants to fight you. Matt Inman's George Smith's coach. Yeah,
he's fought for the belt years ago, welterweight belt years and years ago.
That's pathetic. He's obviously saw George lose and thought, you know, I could have beat him. I'll fight him. And so he kind of got a little bit cranky during the fight, you know, as we were going forward. And then he was worse when I beat him. He was. Because I smashed his face to pieces.
His face was bad.
It was a mess. I remember
Jacob, we'll send you all these, lads, so you can put them up. The memes, like his face after it. Lad, his face after. How bad was his face?
I remember we sat down in the hotel after the fight in the bar. It was all quarantined, so it was only the fighters and the coaches. And he had been in before us, and he was one of the last ones to leave. We were the last group to leave. And it was kind of like one of those moments where you look up and you go, oh. It was Adam Venture who was like, what the fuck? And his face was just smashed to pieces.
Lad, I can remember seeing a photo of him about 4 or 5 weeks later in someone like Jack Cartwright's corner. I can't remember who it was. And lad, his face was still bruised.
But I look at that and think, God, he's tough. He's managed to
lad,
endure that.
3 rounds, lad, he was tough as fuck.
Every time you give a little bit of respect to people, then they end up kind of... You know, as soon as I won the belt, he was the first one to say, "Oh, that fight would have been different over 5 rounds." Meaning me and him over 5 rounds.
You won every round.
And I thought, mate, fucking hell, go and win a few fights, and then we'll set the fight up again in Manchester. You imagine that fight in Manchester,
I know,
or Liverpool? It'd been a sick fight. But I only generally make memes of people who are like doing me head in. And it's normally the people who give me the most shit is Mick Stanton and Matt Inman who have smashed to pieces. You know, choked out Stanton in 2 rounds.
The Mickey Stanton one. What film's that off? Is it The Sixth Sense or something?
The Johnny Depp one when he's on it.
Johnny.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one's off. But that meme had me crying, lad. It's like a meme like the kid where he goes, "I see dead people." That's what it reminded me of.
It's kind of the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing, innit?
Oh, he's this Mick Stanton.
Lad, he's all right with me, Mick, lad. I don't mind
I saw him
Mick.
the other day.
But when he gives you shit, lad.
I went to get.
I just don't like it the way you rob me our fella's fucking nickname, lad. It's Mark Pimo's nickname, that lad. You ain't me.
I went to get my medicals done the other day, bloods and hepatitis and all the rest of it. Obviously, I got cleared, but I was sitting in the waiting room and Mick Stanton walks in, and I'm like, I kind of wait, go on, say something kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't. He's always dead polite when he's in there.
Yeah, lad, that's why I said that whenever I see Mick, lad, he's
Matt,
proper nice fella.
And you've done really well for yourself, and I think, at least have some consistency. If you're going to be a dick in person, and I can be a dick back. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But it's not. I'm
like that though. When people are knobheads online, I see them in person and I'm like, please carry on the way you are. And then they don't. And we can't be that like that because then we look like bullies.
That's right.
And I don't ever want to look like a bully ever in my life.
Like a posh medical centre
exactly.
Trying to scrap
and if he comes, you're all right. And like, what was you saying the other day? You look like the dickhead.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I just try and laugh everything off me. Because if you don't, lad, you come across like a bitter, twisted cunt.
I think especially for you now, you've got all the eyes on you. You know, you've got 900,000 Instagram followers and stuff, and UFC, you've got to be dead careful, aren't you? What you can put out there, and just be a bit sensible about it, which is a bit of a stress for you, because you like a go as well.
I can't help it, lad. Lad, I had to make a new one. To make a new Twitter, lad. Twitter, you should hang a fucking lizard as well. You can get bums, yeah. You can eat shit. You're just fucking shite. I'd have called someone a stupid fat cunt, and he said that was targeted bullying and harassment. So exactly. What happened to free speech, America? You fucking rodents.
How old was he though? Was he like 13 or something?
I don't know, lad. No, he wasn't. He was about 20 something.
All right, that's all right.
I gave him a bit of grief. I can remember me, lad. That day, I had a bad day on Twitter. I was fuming. People were chatting shit about Hillsborough and stuff like that. So I went bananas, started giving people pure shit, lad. Couldn't help it. So I started saying I'll smash people's Mars heads in and that. And fucking, I ended up saying to some kid, "Shut up, you fucking fat ugly cunt. Look at the state of you." And then he said something back. And then I put to him, "Lad, look at you fat cunt, lad. Even your bird's a heifer. I'll take hair off you if I want to." And lad, me bird seen it. And me bird got on me. "What are you doing saying that?" I'm like, "It's a joke, you know what I mean?" I'm just saying to him, like, if I wanted to, I could take it. "It's not funny, you fucking cheeky cunt." So it got me a bit off by ear. And then Twitter took me account off me like a week later. Lad.
Bad day.
And then I've had pure reports on me Insta, me new Insta. Looked at it the other day, lad. I've got about 17 reports on it. And lad, know what it's for? Literally comments like saying to people, "Shut up, you bitch ass." People reporting comments like that.
That's not like
that's
racist
not,
or...
No. Lad, I see people put proper horrible discrimination, racist, crazy shit. Nothing gets said about it. No one reports it. Lad, I call people a bitch ass, or I've been saying stupid cunt, and where it says cunt, putting 2 stars for the UN, and I'm still getting reported. Lad, it burns me head out. This social media now has gone too far. Like, where no one can say nothing unless you're on a fucking troll account. I'm fucking sick of it, lad. I feel like making my own troll account, lad, but I've never done it, ever. Like some fighters have their account and a troll account. I've never had any other account. I've only ever had my account, and I feel like making a troll account to give all people shit.
Give some back.
Yeah, give some back to all you farts who give it to me and report me because you're scared to have a back and forth. Lad, oh, don't get me started, lad. Don't get me started. Fucking hell. But, oh lad, I'm fuming. I'm thinking about it. Proper fuming. But, what I was going to mention, lad, it's mad because obviously he used to train out of our gym when you fought him. But Dylan,
yeah,
lad,
that's right. Yeah.
You like was that the last fight before you come to our gym?
No, it was.
Or did you fight before?
That was
Mark Dingo after that.
That was, I fought Mark Madsen, fought Tim Barnett, Mark Madsen, Maris Fleminass, and then I came to the gym. So it was quite a while before.
Yeah,
which was kind of one of the reasons why I was a little bit like, oh, do I go to next year? Now they're gonna how they gonna behave with me already fighting Dylan and stuff? I just didn't know because obviously I didn't know you guys. But
that fight was just mad.
It was a strange one,
lad. I'll never get over it. I always say after it, lad, it was mad because you weren't at the gym at the time, and I still walked away going, Matt Bonner won that fight.
Yeah,
know what I mean. I'll never forget it, lad. As soon as the fight, like the bell went, you was on top of Dylan for 3 rounds, just sitting on top of him. I was thinking, I walked away fuming with Dylan, like, oh my god, he's being beat. Walked in the changes. Lad, Dylan walked in the changes after me, like 30 seconds later, throwing his gloves.
Yeah.
I went, "So what happened, lad? He win a unanimous?" He went, "No, lad, I've just won." I went, "What?" He went, "No, lad, I've just won." Lad, I had to stop, hold the side and go, "What?"
Do you know? And
then, lad, I went in the foyer and I seen your mum going. Your mum was going ballistic. Your mum was giving Paul Reed shit. She was giving people shit.
She was saying, like, "Who's paid you?
Yeah.
Who's paid you off?" And it's like, Mum, no one gives a snot about paying off to beat Matt Bonner. Everyone thought Dylan was going to win anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Well, lad, I'll never forget that. I walked away and then I went to walk back in past the vending machines and I seen your ma going bananas and I just stopped your mum and went, "Listen, I'm from the other lad's gym. Your son won that fight." And then I can remember you walking out. I was thinking, shit, I could end up fighting with this big cunt now. I stood there like that, thinking this big bastard. And then I said it to you, and he was like, and you turned to your mum and went, "See, mum, everyone thinks I won." And when you weren't asked, you was like calm about it, lad.
Listen,
where if I was you in that situation, lad, I would have been screaming the gaff down. I would have been kicking doors in, lad.
The silver lining of that was I got the Cage Warriors fight right after. I think it was almost Paul Reed's way of saying, because it was on Paul Reed's show, it was Cage Warriors Northwest. It was almost like him saying, "I kind of know what happened.
Yeah.
here's an
Who
opportunity.
did you fight next
It
on
was
that?
Mick Stanton, funny
Mick
enough.
Stanton?
Yeah, that's when I choked him
When he
unconscious.
choked
Yeah. So it all kind of worked out all right. And obviously, it weren't Dylan's fault.
No, it's not, lad.
the
Obviously, it's
judges making a
lad.
shit call.
Judges making shit calls. Like, that was when the rules had just been changed, and it was like people like, oh, if you're attacking on the bottom, then you can win the round. Not when you're on the bottom for 4 minutes, still getting punched.
I was still doing enough to stay on
Yeah,
top
you
as
was.
well,
It's
because
not like-
otherwise the referee would have stepped me up.
He mentioned it a few times, and he just
It was
kept
that
punching.
bad that the referee held up my hand and then went, what? And
Yeah.
held up Dylan's. You know, everyone knew the
Everyone
score,
knew
but
what after. That's why I said to you then, so what are you now, 11-6? Because I included that.
It's a shame, you know, because even the Madass Fleming's fight, it was close, but I still had people messaging me after that saying, Matt, you won that fight. And you think, do you know what, if you took those 2 losses off and put them on the winning side, my record's looking a little bit stronger there.
Lad, I always say that with Ellis, lad. Ellis has got like a few losses on his record that are, like, he's got a no contest where he had the kid in a triangle and the ref separated them and the kid went asleep. So it got turned to a no contest when it should have been a win for Ellis.
Referee's decision,
Yeah, it's the
doesn't it?
referee's decision. The referee shit himself. Give it as a no contest. Know what I mean?
You can't do it.
You can't do that, lad. But, Pit, lad, I always say, I have been lucky. I have. I've been lucky in this sport, lad. Like, when I look back at fights against, like, Stephen Martin, lad, he hit me with one of the naughtiest left hooks anyone's ever been hit with. And, lad, I don't know how I carried on. Know what I mean? He hit me with that, and somehow I carried on.
You
like,
survived, yeah.
On another day, lad, that punch is putting me fast asleep.
An inch lower, innit?
Yeah.
Or a centimetre lower.
And I'm not waking up, lad.
Yeah.
And I'm not where I am today. So I always say it, lad, I caught a break where I always compare myself to Adam and Ellis. Them 2 poor bastards never caught a break, lad. They didn't.
You do, and that was again one of the reasons why I went to Next Gen. I guess was at the time they were like they're the Liverpool of all the fight gyms. And you do get that little bit of biasism from he's a big gym, Matt's from this small gym, this guy from the bigger gym's going to get the nod ahead. So that was kind of again one of the reasons why maybe I moved across and to Next Gen.
Became the Warrington Warrior, lads, didn't you?
But it's all ended up quite nice, to be fair. I mean, it makes a good story. There's plenty of guys out there who are 15 and 20 now and stuff, and I'd love to be one of them. But this kind of, you said the Cinderella Man thing has come out now, and it makes for a good story anyway.
It does, lad. It makes it a fucking better story than someone going 12-0, lads, getting in the UFC.
But it's different, and there's plenty of guys who are 12-0. There's not plenty of guys who have had my record and managed to dig the way out of a shitty hole.
When you've just said it, lad, you were 4-5-1, and now you're 10-6-1.
Yeah. I've done all right. Yeah,
you're 6-1 in your past 7 fights.
But again, that's I started improving and obviously getting better when I moved to Next Gen. That was the best career move I could have made.
I'll be honest, lad, I can remember seeing you in the changes because I fought the same night as the Richardson when you lost, didn't you? And I can remember seeing your face and I could just tell you were going to come back with like a proper vengeance, lad.
It's funny,
because you were sitting there and it was like, I could tell by the look on your face, you were gutted, but you had like it was a different look. It wasn't like devastation. It was like you knew what you'd done, and like you knew what you needed to do to make it better. Because I was warming up, and I can remember I was standing there like, oh, he's fucking just. But then I can remember looking at you, and you was like, it was like you knew what you needed to do in your own head. Know what I mean? And I can remember you saying thank you to Paul before you left, and you went, I know what I'll be in the gym on Monday.
It's funny, and this is going to come off as kind of false now because I'm in the same room as you. But I remember I went out and it's the worst performance of my career. Mentally before the fight, I'd swallowed it. I was, I'm not feeling very well, and this and this. I remember coming back to the changing rooms, and you were warming up on the opposite side of the room because for whatever reason, the mats were over that side. In that weird Star Wars,
it was a weird Star Wars
themed room. Bizarre. But I remember looking over, and you had your music on. You were like doing the pads, and you were like dancing or whatever you were doing. And I thought, that's how you fucking do it. Not even like the dance. I'm not gonna be dancing or anything, but like you wanted to be there.
Yeah.
You were like, there's not another place on the planet you'd rather be than where you was.
Yeah, lad.
And I was thinking, like, why I need to be like that.
That's what it is, lad. I always say to people, to get far in this sport, like, you've got to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, if you don't like getting in that cage and fighting, then you shouldn't do it. Yeah.
You got to be grateful as well. I mean, this is what came when I was fighting for Cage Warriors, when everything else was quarantined and we were the only people who was allowed to fight. And it's like, fucking hell. Especially having a twin brother who was sat at home thinking,
can't fight,
I need to fight, I need to fight, I need to fight. So there's all that little bit of gratefulness comes in. You think, go out there and enjoy it a little bit more. And because I'm 31 in December. I've probably got a good 8 years left in me, I would say. But then it's done.
Yeah, well,
We're finished after that.
that's what I thought on that day. Not the way you're saying, like, be grateful. That day we fought, when you fought Richardson and I fought Techie Dalton, I just couldn't believe the show was even happening.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it was literally COVID had just come in.
Yeah.
We went into lockdown 2 days later, didn't we? From that
Right
Monday
after.
morning, we went into lockdown.
And that's when like the trilogy card started after that.
Because, like, it was a weird card as well. It was like Darren Stewart was main event versus another fella in the
that
UFC.
Was, right. Was Mason Jones on there?
And Mason Jones beat Joe McColgan.
He came over to me and went, "Oh, your boy did well," meaning you, because you did Dalton in the first round, didn't you? I think you choked him out.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of big guys there.
There
You're
was,
in the UFC. Mason's in the UFC. Darren's just left the UFC, but
And then I'm trying to think, there was another fight on that main card. Oh, was that Nathan Jones?
possibly
Versus that bear.
yeah, possibly,
Nathan Jones versus that bear. Lad, it was a good little card,
was a
that,
good
to be honest.
card, yeah.
Cage Warriors always have good cards. Like, I'm trying to think of some of the fights. Like, obviously, the biggest fights you're looking forward to is your one, the lightweight title fight, and is the Creasy
Got
versus
Creasy and
Shanks.
Shanks.
Is that the same night as yours, that Saturday?
It is the next day,
The
Saturday,
next day, yeah.
and you've got Dominique and whoever he's fighting, Dominique Wooden.
Is he on the Friday?
Yeah, he's fighting the Saturday.
Oh, was he on the
Yeah.
Saturday? So is Stinger on the Friday and Hardwick and...
Hardwick is
Surely-
no, they're on the same card as me. So it's
yeah.
Hardwick and me, and then it's the Creasy and Wooden.
The next night,
Woodland,
yeah.
yeah.
Who's Wooden fighting?
I've no idea, mate.
I haven't
I think
either.
is he Italian or something? I've no idea. Never heard of the kid before.
I'll have to have a look. I didn't even know he was fighting. I'm going to have to have a look at that, though, after him sharing me all over him singing, giving him shit. But I hope he wins, lad. To be honest, after him beating Nathan, lad, I
Yeah.
hope he continues to win until he fights Nathan again and Nathan beats him.
Well, we know from kind of being around Nathan, he's going to bounce back from that. He's 23.
Lad, we know how good Nathan is,
23.
lad. He's a child.
And you know, it's better that happening now than him going to the UFC now.
I always say it, lad. I always say to the lads in the gym, no, especially when they lose an amateur, I wish I would have lost an amateur.
Yeah.
I wish, lad. No one cares about your amateur record. Like, I was 9-0 amateur. No one mentions that. No one gives a shit.
He was the
lad.
best amateur in the country. Everyone
He was the
goes,
best
"Who
amateur
cares?"
ever. No one gives a
Yeah,
fuck
who
what you were like an
cares?
amateur, lad. This is pro now. This is big boy shit. Know what I mean?
This is what me and Dan say. It's like our biggest regret is like the amateur fight felt. We treat amateur fights like they were the Cage Warriors World Title fight.
Yeah.
It's like it's a learning experience. You go in there, you get a bit of experience. Hopefully you win. If you lose, you go away and tighten up where you lost. But we'd come back from amateur fights and like be almost like crying in the car because we put that much pressure on ourselves and we wanted to win that bad. And you think it's the wrong way to go about that. We just
That's exactly what I was like, though, lad. I'll be honest. Every amateur fight I went into, when I was an amateur, I'll be honest, lad, I was just a grappler. All I had for my hands was I'd throw a few high kicks, leg kicks, and I'd swing. I'd swing overhands and left hooks. Know what I mean? And I'd use my overhand to get into double legs. Know what I mean? That was it. I'd swing to get into the next shot. And obviously, when I was amateur, I didn't even think, I need to practice doing this. I was just, I want to win. I want to win.
Yeah.
I want to win.
I think it's that competitiveness
It is, lad.
comes out in it, and that's
So
like,
until-
probably why we've been. You know, obviously you've been super successful, and I've had a bit of success as well. Probably why we've got there, but you've just got to like treat it right when you're at amateur level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
lad.
You've got to
Like-
use it properly.
That's what I wish when I was younger that the IMAFs were about. Like the
5
prime
fights in one day or
exactly.
something like that.
Prime
Ace,
example of
yeah.
it for me, lad, is Jack Shaw. Jack Shaw, brilliant MMA fighter, fucking boss lad, he's great Jack lad, proper nice lad. And he done it all correctly, lad. Done it through the amateur ranks correctly, and like because he's done it all nicely and like gradually, he's 15-0 now, isn't he? You know what I mean?
He's looked
He's
a beast,
marvelous.
He is.
in
I've
his-
never
in
met
it.
him personally, obviously.
Oh,
you're
lad, he's
close
cool,
friends,
you know.
but he comes across as a nice
Lad, he's
fella.
proper sound, lad. He's funny.
Top
Lad, you should have seen him at the last thing. Yo, on the howler head like that. Him and Molly like that on the howler head. I was just sitting in the corner like that. It's funny. He kept coming out. Him and his dad kept coming on. Go on, Paddy, have one of them. Like, lad, I'm just waiting on my Shake Shack to arrive, lad. I'm good for beer. Just give me food. I was just sitting there like that, eating,
Scranning.
just scranning, lad, at the side of the pool. Couldn't help myself. Oh, I'm bad for it, you know. But
Dominic's fighting
Carlos Abreu. I've never even heard of him.
11th December.
But does it say what his record is?
9-3.
9-3.
Might be another guy they've had to bring in. It's similar to my guy.
Yeah.
He's not on the Cage Warriors roster. They've had to bring him in because there's the division's thinned out. After
Well, I was just
beating-
about to say the bantamweight division's thin. Literally. The kid who Nathan beat, not bowling, the other kids went down to flyweight, hasn't
Right,
he? The
okay.
Italian
He's-
kid.
yeah,
He was
of
good,
course,
him as
yeah,
well.
Michelle
Michelle
Montanaghi or something like that.
Yeah, whatever his name is. That's him there. That's the kid who he's fighting. Yeah, I hope Wooden wins, lad. I hope Wooden wins. I'd rather Wooden win than a random kid who I don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what was I saying then? I'm terrible for that.
Kind of like the roster we were saying.
Yeah,
weren't
I'm
we,
terrible
about,
for that though. You know, going, oh shit, what is it? Like, yeah, no wonder that they've had to bring someone else in for Wooden, because it was Nathan and Wooden basically, weren't it? That was it. Because it was Nathan getting the title shot and he didn't know who to give it to.
For everyone,
yeah, Nathan was running for everyone.
Yeah. And he run through him like, mate, Brian Boulan looked like
shit.
a bum, didn't he?
That's what I mean.
And
If Boulan was still on the Cage Warriors roster, he'd probably be fighting Wooden now.
Yeah.
But he signed to someone else,
Right,
didn't he?
has he moved on?
Yeah, he moved on. After
this.
Nathan beat him, that was his last fight. So he just legged it.
Same with, who's the fella you kind of kept lining up to
Desmay,
fight?
yeah.
Desmay. He's gone to KSW.
I'll be honest though, lad, I thought he won that fight.
Right, I've not seen it.
Against Daggy Sadari. Yeah, you fought before it, didn't you?
Oh, the Sadari fight.
The Sadari fight I'm on about.
KSW fight.
No,
it was closer than it probably should have been.
I thought he won that 3-2. I thought he won the first 3.
Yeah, because you was about fighting Sadari at one point, weren't you?
I was saying when his opponent pulled, I was like, I'll take that fight.
Yeah.
I'll take that fight. Give me that fight. I'll take that fight. Because lad, he's shit. Aggie Sadari's shit, lad.
His tea.
Yeah, he couldn't finish his tea, lad. And then McColgan proved it. McColgan schooled him.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? McColgan made him look shit, lad.
That's an odd one though. He's give up his title, hasn't he?
I think he's got a lot of shit going on in his personal life, I think.
Right, okay.
Yeah. I haven't got a clue personally, like, but I'm sure he's just had a child and that, lad.
Possibly.
You know what I mean? Sure, he's just had a kid and he's like got a married and that. And
I think he's like 34, 35
yeah, he's
as
a
well.
bit older, isn't he? Yeah.
I think he said, listen, I'm not really bothered about going to UFC.
Yeah, I think that was his goal. Yeah, his goal was Cage Warriors title.
He might just retire, maybe.
He might do that, but
for some people it's
I'd like to see Joe at least get a shot in the UFC.
Yeah, it'd be
know what
nice.
I mean? He's obviously he's chatted a bit of shit about me in the past. We've chatted a bit of shit about each other, but he's a nice fella, lad. He's a proper nice fella. I've bumped into him in person and he's cool. So
good fighter as well.
Exactly, he's a fighter. He's not arsed. He's one of them. He'll get in there and he'll have you a scrap. His first fight with Ben Lachtar was a fucking war.
That was
lad.
a draw.
Know what I mean? It was a war.
Top fight.
So, as I say, I'd love to see him get to the UFC in the future, but he needs to come back. Yeah, he needs to come back and have a little fight or two. But I can see Ben Lachtar getting signed. If Ben Lachtar wins and defends it once, I can see him getting signed.
It's what we said about being French, though.
The French.
Even Irish.
Yeah.
If you're Irish, it just seems to be they're trying to
Everyone
pull
keeps
these
going
people.
on about that Bellator show, lad.
I don't even know. What is it? A Dublin card or something?
Yeah, lads, the other day, because Peter Greeley and fucking Gallagher, Gallagher got beat, lad. Fucking everyone going on about that show. Oh, the crowd, lad. Watch in March then. Watch in March. And it's not even in Liverpool. It's in London. And watch the crowd when I walk out. You'll have never seen nothing like it. Nothing. And it's not in Liverpool. It's in the capital with loads of Tories. And I'll still have the gaff rocking. Lad, I will.
Yeah.
I'll have the gaff bouncing, even though it's full of Tories.
It's going to be a good card, though, isn't
It's going to be heavy.
It's going to be a big card.
The few little things I've seen so far
is
is
it
like...
a fight night?
Yeah, it's a fight night.
It's a big fight night, though.
The few little ones I've seen so far, I've seen Till versus Uriah Hall. And lad, it's mad that because obviously Till's fellow Scouser. And when I was in New York, lad, I was with Uriah Hall twice. Just
right,
chilling,
okay.
talking to him.
Oh,
lad.
is he
Lad,
alright?
he's a proper nice fella, you know. Uriah Hall, proper sound fella. I was just sitting having a chat with him, like doing meet and greets and that. It was funny, at one point he turned to me and went, dude, what weight do you fight at? Is it 77? I was like, nah, lad, 155. He was like... he was looking at me as if to say, you're messing. Yeah, lad. Who else meant to be on it? Aspinall against that Russian dude.
Molly's got a contract
Molly's
signed,
got a
hasn't she?
contract signed. She's got an opponent. I haven't got an opponent yet. I think I seen Hadley's fighting Figueiredo's little brother.
Yeah. There was another one as well. Nathaniel Wood, he's on there.
Nathaniel Wood.
He puts on a good fight.
I think Mockiev will probably be on there having his debut. Jay Abbott may be on there. Maybe Diakasi. Lad, you can do a big stacked card. Paul Craig.
Arnold Allen might get on there as well.
The only thing with Arnold Allen, I reckon they'll want to put him against the top 5 fedder. So
he's getting up there now, isn't he?
He'll be on a card in America, I reckon. Just because if they've already got Aspinall, Thingio and Till Hall, that's 2 ranked fights. So because they're both like ranked fights, they mightn't have that many others on there. But I reckon me, Molly, and say like Nathaniel Wood or maybe someone else to round off the main card there. Or Jack Shaw, sorry.
Where do you expect to be on that card now?
I've got to be higher
Till's
than...
going to be main in.
Yeah.
So where do you put
I can't
yourself?
be above Aspinall because Aspinall's a ranked fighter. Know
So
what I
you
mean?
think you'll be third from finish or something like that?
Could be, yeah. You know me, I love opening up the main card. I always have done.
Yeah.
I've asked on Cage
Maybe
Warriors.
they'll do that again.
I've asked Cage Warriors about 4 different times. Like me last fight with Martinez, I asked to go first. They said we couldn't because of a telly deal they had in France.
Right, okay.
It was only showing man in the Morgan Charrier fight. The fight before Dalton, I did open up the main card. When I fought Teddy Violet, I opened up the main card. When I fought Grimshaw, I opened up the main card. Like loads of my best wins. The last UFC fight, I opened up the main card. But lad, it doesn't matter where I am on the card. I know that my reception will be better than anyone gets on the card.
Well, when we were supposed to fight in London, I ended up fighting Warren Key.
And Giannetti, what we were saying before, you never made weight.
500 tickets.
I had, lad.
In London, which is 2.5 hours away from Liverpool. I just can't wrap my head around that. I've got like my mum, my dad, my brother.
I'll be honest.
500 scouts coming down.
I've got like that one was meant, that Giannetti one, lad. I wasn't even just all scouts. I was sending people tickets to that fight. Like people who lived in London and Scotland and that were getting on me for tickets. And I was like, lad, if you want, I can send. They were like, yeah, go on, sound. So they were transferring me the money, and then I was sending them the tickets. Lad, it was mad. And I did. I sold over 500 for that one. Like that card was boss though.
It was.
That was the Richardson.
Yeah.
I mean
It was Frederick and
Frederick vs Webb. That was that one.
That was the first time they fought.
No, that was the second. That was when he TKO'd him.
Right.
Because I was sitting cage side watching it, and lad, the clubs that he was like, it was like he was clubbing him.
It is like he's got a sledgehammer and he's knocking some kind of pin into the floor or something.
Lad,
in it.
He's got ridiculous strength, and as we were saying before, lad, I hope I see him fight again. You know,
yeah.
Because like I can remember, like
fun fights from in that division
when he fought
well.
Richardson, lad, I can remember putting that on my story and just being like, wow, this man is scary.
Yeah, it was a heavy knockout. Lad, that was one of the worst knockouts I've seen.
That was like, whoa.
Richardson keeps getting dropped though over and over again. He's another one of these kind of 24, 25-year-old kids who's been dropped 10 times.
Yeah.
And you think, fucking hell, mate. Go and take a year off.
Has he fought since Ken
Cotman, didn't he? No, he has. He won his last fight. I think he beat an Italian. He looked all right. Moved back down to welterweight again. And he looked all right, but every time he gets like a dig, he's on floor.
That's the difference between fighting at middleweight and fucking welterweight, though, isn't it? Like literally, there's a stone. There's a stone difference in that.
And Frederick he's another one of those. He's thick. You know, his legs.
I know, because Richardson won the first round on that, didn't he?
He won the first two.
Or first two, just took him down. That's the thing with that Frederickson, that literally one shot.
I always say it's like having a sick guillotine or something like that.
Yeah.
If you've got that finish in you,
it's like. No, it reminds me of Derek Lewis. Literally, up until the last 10 seconds of the fight, he can catch you with a punch and put you to bed.
No, for some people, you have to hit in the right part and to land a knockout. I tend to think he could hit you anywhere.
Yeah.
And you're out.
Same with like, it's like Ngannou, innit? Literally, he clips people. He doesn't.
Yeah.
Like the Miocic one was a jab, wasn't it? Like he knocked him out with a jab.
Rocks him
just
with
like
jab.
boom, stiff jab through the middle. Lad, it's fucking scary.
Power, yeah.
Know what? Before we finish, that's the only fight we haven't spoke about, like the Webb fight. And personally, for me, I think that's your best performance.
That for me is kind of. I think maybe you've got one, but I've got a fight where I think that's where everything went perfect.
Yeah.
It's the only fight where I look back and like, it's the only fight I'll end up watching on my TV at home. Do you know what I mean? I'm bored. What should I do? Oh, I'll watch the James Webb Matt Bonner fight. It's
Mine's
everything.
the Martinez one.
Is it? So we've all got one, haven't we? Where it's like, oh, that was nice. But it was just the build up to it was perfect in terms of the training. We knew what we had to do.
Yeah.
Because he was very one-dimensional, James.
Like, yeah, even in the hotel, how chilled we all were.
Yeah.
Because like that was when Favre was fighting.
That's right. Yeah, it was a good night. Yeah.
We were all. You fought the night before. Because I can remember, obviously, it was just you, Paul, and Ellis that could go, weren't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Me, Adam, Nathan Gittins, and Chris Williams all sat in there with a scran. And I can remember going sick when you won. You know, it was great, lad. We all just jumped up and down, went bananas. Because then that was when Aggie Sadari fought Desmond after it, and I stayed up and watched the whole thing.
But yeah, that's the one fight where everything came together, and you've like even. Obviously, just before going out, sometimes you mentally can be like, "Oh, I'm not ready for this." But even then, I was like, "Yeah, let's go."
I think no matter what, when you stood behind that curtain at the side there, and you're like that, I think no matter what in the side of your head you get, what am I going to win this? Like,
yeah, sure.
And you've just got to say to it, shut your mouth, lad, you're going to smash his head and he can't go near you.
So I always say, like, go out and do your best. And people say, don't say that, you're going to win. I think, I can't do any better than my best.
No, you can't.
And I think my best can beat most people on the planet at middleweight or welterweight, whatever. You know, if I go in there and do my best, I'll have a good performance.
Yeah.
I don't need to go in there and say, I'm definitely going to win this fight and I'm going to do it this and it's going to be round 2 by knockout. I'll go in there and say, do your best.
That's when you put pressure. I've done it before, lad. I've put lots of pressure on myself.
100%, yeah.
I have, lad. I've done it before, lad. I've put pressure on myself. But you could be looking at the next two weight cage warriors world champion here,
That'd
people.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
Everyone should just be looking at him in awe. Just like,
I'd love to, let's say, drop down, get this one over with. I don't want to talk too much because I want to focus on this one, but get this one over with, drop down to welter, like fight Reece McKee at welter, something like that.
Yeah,
would
that'd be nice.
That'd be a sick fight.
Yeah, it would. That'd be a scrap, lad.
Yeah.
But we all know who wins, lad. The Beast.
Yeah, I'd like to think
Beast.
so. Yeah, I'd like to think so. We'll see.
But yeah, before, lad, I'm going to make sure that when this gets edited, all the memes get put in when we're talking about it. All the SBG ones, all the fucking Mickey Stano ones, because they're funny as fuck.
I was looking at my phone, like 9 out of 10 of them are SPG ones.
Yeah.
And my missus she's working today. She was over by her computer and she was like, she heard me giggling. She went, "Are you looking at your own memes again?" And I'm like laughing at my own memes. Thinking, this is sad.
Lad, it just shows how good they are that she knows that you're sitting there laughing at them. Just shows how good they are. But tell everyone, lad, where to find you. Insta, Twitter, all that shit.
So you can find me on Facebook, Matt Bonner. I think I've got 2 accounts on there. Make sure you follow the public one, not the athlete one, because I don't really update that one. Matt the Beast Bonner on Instagram. I don't really use Twitter, to be fair. That's something I need to get on.
Lad, Twitter's the one for arguing, lad.
Yeah.
Lads, I just can't help myself on there, lad.
But yeah, they can follow me and yeah, hopefully I'll put on a good performance on Friday.
Oh, he will. He's going to mufti this poor bastard. This poor bastard's getting muftied. And then in the new year, he's going to become welterweight champ, 2-weight champ, and then he's joining the UFC with me.
Nice.
That is how we
ideal.
roll. That's what's happening. Another 2 wins, and the Beast is on the UFC roster with me. Facts. But it was a pleasure to have you today,
Pleasure.
Matt. Thank you very much, lad.
Thanks for inviting me. I really enjoyed it. Cheers,
He's
buddy.
going to smash someone's head in on Friday. Can't wait, lad. Hopefully this will come out like the day before or the day of his fight, and you'll get to see him smash a Frenchman's head in. Peace out. This was episode 20 of Chattin' Pony with 21. Oh, now just nearly made a cunt of myself there. Episode 21 of Chattin' Pony with Paddy the Baddy. We'll see you next week, people.